everyone, and welcome back to Arsenal Fan TV America here from the Pacific Northwest. It's been a while, hey, but we're back at it. And listen, we gotta sit back now and really understand and recognize where we at as Arsenal fans, and we gotta be very, very, very happy about where we are. To be honest with you, it feels so good to be on top of the Premier League and still at the Champions League quarterfinals. Playing who? Bayern Munich. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Bayern Munich game. Of course, we're going to touch upon, where we at the Premier League. And we also are going to cover the other games at the Champions League so we see what happened in this fantastic competition. But we're back, and we're back at it. Hey, listen, like I said, we got to be happy where we are. But where do we go from here? Because this is a critical part of our season. Remember, last year, this is when Arsenal sort of, went down in form. And of course, that led to us not winning the Premier League. And it was really a step in heart. I don't really want to remember these days. Don't want to think about it. So let's celebrate where we're at. Again, we're top of the Premier League with what? Goal differential. Yes, we are tied in points with Liverpool, thanks of course to sometimes you would never think you'd say that, but thanks Man United, they were able to actually keep Liverpool quiet and not take the 3 points. Matter of fact, if you look at that game closely, that penalty should not be a penalty. Liverpool should have lost that game. Arsenal should have been 71, Liverpool 69 points. Yep, that penalty is not a penalty. I don't know. How do you use VAR? So VAR is the referee's mistakes on steroids, because if they do mistakes, they want to stick with it, and then VAR supports them somehow. You have to, if you VAR'd it, you have to discover that the defender didn't really make that foul. He actually pulled his foot away, but he gave a penalty. Anyways, not our case. Thank you, Man United. Anyways, now we're tied with Liverpool that lost today to Atlanta. Atlanta silenced Anfield. They beat Liverpool 3-0 at Anfield. That's something almost impossible, but they did it in UEFA today. So Liverpool are not doing great. They're on the downside. I know they don't have strong games like we do, but they do have Tottenham. Tottenham's not going to be an easy opponent for them. They also have their own derby with Everton away. So that also will be a tough team. A tough game for them. So hopefully they don't, win both of them. But we also have Chelsea, we have Man United, and we have our noisy neighbors, Tottenham. So Premier League, I don't know what to say, but we are in the driver's seat. So now we have 7 games that are 7 cup games, starting with Aston Villa this coming Sunday. We're going to play Aston Villa at the Emirates. So hopefully, number one, we learned from Champions League that Trossard has to start. So hopefully we start him. Hopefully we go after getting goals early. Aston Villa is a tough team to beat, and they're doing good this year with Unai Emery, of course, former Arsenal coach, as we all know. Unai Emery coached Arsenal for a little bit. Now he's the Aston Villa, and he's doing a great job. So tough team to play, but we got to be attacking football. Stop going side to side. Please don't play Jorginho, hopefully. But hopefully Thomas Partey starts. We'll see what happens, but we need that win. There's no doubt about it. We need that win. We need to continue that. Every single game is a cup game from now on. Now we shift from the Premier League to Champions League. Played Bayern Munich. To me, player for player, the team that should win it all. They have an amazing squad, especially if you look around their starting 11. I mean, I don't know. Or the people that came on later, Kingsley Coman. Let's not forget who this guy is, that he won them the Champions League at some point a couple of 3 years ago. And he's played for France and scored for France, one of the fastest swingers ever. That was just a substitute that came in for them. We don't have as deep of a bench as they do, but we have Trossard, baby, that came in and changed the game. What a game that was. And I'm telling you, if we just played a little bit less scared and more brave, we would have won that game. We playing at home. We should have. Bayern Munich, again, going back to, who started with them, it was Leroy Sané and Kingsley Coman came in, like I said. Emmanuel Neuer came back to the side, one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. You have, Leon Goretzka, the German midfielder, amazing talent. You have Joshua Kimmich, who's playing as a right back, amazing talent. Davies on the left side, one of the fastest, if not the fastest, left backs in the world. He goes out, Guerrero comes in for him, and the Portuguese is just amazing signing from Borussia Dortmund. They acquired him. Great player, up front, Serge Gnabry, that always scores in London, the ex-Arsenal player. So many players. And Harry Kane, of course, I don't want to talk about him, but, he's one of the players to also mention because of that goal-scoring spree that he's on. So, hefty team with Thomas Tuchel, the ex-Chelsea manager that now is managing Bayern and will leave the end of the season. He's already done. They agreed to part ways. Thomas Tuchel did not work for them, but he won it with Chelsea. He won the Champions League. So a lot more experience than Mikel Arteta. Now let's talk about Arsenal and how we started. We started David Raya. We started Kiwior to the left. David Raya in goal, of course. Kiwior left back. Ben White right back. And of course the solid Gabriel William Saliba in the middle. Ahead of him was Jorginho, Declan Rice. Ahead of that was Martin Odegaard. And of course, we have the Bukayo Saka on one side. We started Martinelli on one side, and through the middle was Kai Havertz. Listen, let me tell you, it's not bad as a starting lineup. However, I would definitely not play or not start Jorginho. I don't have to play this deep. I understand with Bayern Munich how good of a team they are. But you have to, in Champions League games like that, have a mindset that I'm playing at home. So I have to be the more dominant team, no matter what. I got this 60,000 fans. And by the way, Bayern Munich fans, there was no Bayern Munich fans. So all Arsenal fans, 60,000. That's full capacity at the Emirates. So you got to utilize that. Play four in the back, you do. That's good. But you play four in the back and then one in front of him, which is Declan Rice. Put two, in midfield. Trossard, Martin Odegaard. So that's, that nice triangle in the middle, but more attacking triangle and track back and be on the same line defensively. But we have more to go up front. And of course, yes, Bukayo Saka on one side. Yes, Martinelli on the other side. And yes, Kai Havertz through the middle. He's been doing great. So that's the only thing I would have, changed. Of course, as we saw, Bukayo Saka scores a beautiful goal right away from the get-go, and we were up. I was comfortable. I said, okay, this is it. We're going to go on and win this game because we need it. To win it, going, into Allianz Arena, playing Bayern Munich at home is a difficult thing. It's just difficult. So anyway, yes, Bukayo Saka scores our first goal. I was almost too comfortable, but I know Bayern Munich has the quality and a quick movement for them, and they scored a great goal. And you could see the quickness of the transition from front to back. We're a very quick team, but we don't do that enough. We do not transition enough. We don't allow the other team the ball, right? So we keep the ball in their half. So we don't have any counter attacks. But when they do, pressure us and we take the ball, I don't know if we really transform from defense to offense very quickly. Or I don't know if we utilize the speed we have correctly. I mean, we try, but it doesn't work all the time. If it does work, you'll see an Odegaard pass all the way to Martinelli. And Martinelli's so quick. But someone has to get that ball to him up front so he can go on a counter-attack. 1-1, Bukayo Saka scored, they score, so it's 1-1. I think Arsenal kind of lost the ether a little bit, sat back a lot. They had more ball. Of course, it was a penalty. Yes, I'm with you. But hey, it is what it is. Harry Kane converted. So we go on the second half. And I thought that I would see more of Arsenal, but we didn't really. The team that came back on the field, they didn't do anything different. Till we saw the substitute, we saw how dynamic Leandro Trossard is. That's a player that we should start all the time. Thomas Partey came at the end, didn't do too well, but I was glad to see him back. And we were able to score the second goal. Gabby Jesus held the ball, two substitutes outside. You could see Gabby Jesus is hungry. He holds the ball on the 18th. Couple of tricks, moves it to the left side. Well, Trossard's coming from behind him, and he puts it right beneath or right to Neuer's right side. Couldn't do anything about it, and it was 2-2. Now, listen, regarding how the game was going, I would consider this a good result. But we got to go to Germany and do something spectacular. We've done it before with, greatest of players and the greatest of managers, but Arsenal's done it before. Went to the, Allianz Arena and won and beat Bayern Munich. So hopefully we do that because we're going to have to. This is a win or go home. If we just put one behind them, that's good enough if we win 1-0. Or if we can go to penalties. I mean, we don't know. However we do it, I just want to see us stay in the Champions League and have an opportunity to get to the semifinal. And that would be a great result, of course. Now, is it 90%, 80%? It's 50%. Again, it's Bayern Munich. So I cannot disrespect them and say, 70, 80%, 90%. Arsenal, big games, big question mark in the past. My team, love them to death, but big question mark when it's big teams, big games, big finals, teams that decide. We don't come through. So hopefully we do this time. That's why I'm saying 50-50. If we show up, we're very capable, very, very capable of winning this tie or this game. Bayern Munich is not at their best. We are. But again, last year, this is when Arsenal form dipped. This is the time when it did. So hopefully that's not it again. And hopefully we learned from last year. And hopefully we're better this year. And hopefully we know that this happened and we recognize what happened last year and learn from it this year. So come on, you Gunners. Let's take you to the other teams or games that was played, Champions League. So Tuesday, Bayern and Arsenal 2-2. And the other game was Real Madrid and Man City were taking each other's on for real. At the Bernabeu, at Real Madrid, of course, superior stadium, best stadium in the world now, they say. It was closed, so it was a sight to see. Screen around the whole entire stadium. Fantastic field. Amazing stadium. Manchester City went there, said, no, we're not going to let it go this time. We're going to hold you. We're going to hold you back, Real Madrid. We're going to pressure you as much as we can. We're going to play football. So what a game. I mean, it was an amazing game. It ended up both teams tying 3-3. Man City scored early first. Goalkeeper mistake. Phil Foden puts it around the wall from a free kick. And then Real Madrid comes to draw 1-1. And then they go 2-1. Then City said, no, we are going to go 2-2 and then 3-2. But Real Madrid says, we're not losing at our own stadium. And they were finally 3-3 tied. Now they go next week, Wednesday, Bayern Munich play Arsenal in Germany. And Real Madrid will go to England, to Manchester, to play Manchester City. Then Wednesday's games, Borussia Dortmund were playing and taking on, in yellow, I'll say why I'm saying yellow, taking on Atletico Madrid in Spain. And then also the other yellow team was Barcelona taking on PSG in France. I was watching both games. It was amazing. You couldn't take an eye off of both games. Great football. Both teams are going at it and trying to make the best of results. Of course, as we know, this is the first leg, the first match. Great 2 games. Barcelona were able to beat PSG in France 3-2. Mbappe, Dembele failed to get the third goal. Mbappe was doing his best. Dembele was doing his best. But on the night, Barcelona were lethal. Barcelona and Xavi, just you could see Luis Enrique ran out of tricks in front of Xavi and Barcelona's superiority on the night. We go to the other game, Borussia Dortmund taking on Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid were superior in the first half. The last kick of the game, Julian Brandt hitting the post, almost a 2-2 game. But, of course, the post that's best friend with Oblak, I guess, denied the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper, said no to Julian Brandt, deflected that header off, and Atletico Madrid win that game 2-1. Of course, it was, again, a great game from Borussia Dortmund, but they woke up late. If they played the same way they played towards the end since the beginning, I think the story would have changed. But Atletico wins. Next Tuesday, or this upcoming Tuesday, and now Atletico goes to Germany to play Borussia Dortmund. They're up 2-1, Atletico. And PSG will go to not Camp Nou anymore, not yet. We'll go to Spain, Barcelona, temporary field, so they can play. Of course, the Camp Nou is under construction, but now they go to Barcelona to play the second leg. And PSG is very, very capable of turning this around. So we'll see. It's very interesting because now Real Madrid, City, who wins? Real Madrid never won at City, so we'll see. But Real Madrid are looking really good, and I think they may, but we'll see. Arsenal, can they go? Yeah, it did happen before. Can they go and snatch a win out of Bayern Munich in Germany? We don't know. Atletico Madrid going to Borussia. Dortmund can win 1-0 and take it to the next. Yeah, can they do that? We'll see. We'll see. I mean, everything is possible. PSG can beat Barcelona. Everything is possible. So it's going to be very interesting who is going, or the 4 teams that will be going to the semifinal. Stay tuned. We'll bring you everything. Arsenal Fan TV America, we're back. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Next game for us, Aston Villa at the Emirates. Come on, you Gunners. We need this win. Now we control our own destiny. We need to stay on top of the Premier League. One or the other, Mikel Arteta. We're not greedy. I would love to see both, but one of those two gotta come home with us. We need a trophy. Champions League or Premier League. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.